New Yubel support is finally here, and I am super satisfied with it. Finally, I can play the love of my life the way she was meant to be played. And I just wanted to share this new stuff with you guys because it is pretty freaking awesome. I absolutely love it. I really this is everything I wanted and more. Starting off, we have the Spirit of Yubel, a clear reference to the Spirit of Neos. Does a very similar thing that it special summons itself from your hand when your opponent's monster declares an attack, and then when it's special summoned, you can take one spell or trap from your deck that mentions Yubel and either add it to your hand or set it to your field. This is fantastic as the new spell and trap cards supporting Yubel are essential to the new Yubel strategy. Also, as with all Yubel cards, cannot be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card, and if it's destroyed, you can special summon one Yubel that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard. This is the first of the new sort of Yubel banish combination support that I'm cooking up in my brain. Next up, we have Geist Golem. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly at all, forgive my German. This is the new Grinder Golem card. If you don't know, Yubel uses Grinder Golem in the anime, and this version is a hell of a lot better, at least for Yubel, not for everybody else. You can reveal one Yubel monster in your hand to special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field. Then you can special summon the revealed Yubel to your field, which is really cool, allowing us to very easily summon Yubel and give her something to ram into. Once per turn during damage calculation, if this card battles a Yubel monster, your opponent gains 3,000 life points. Lovely! Finally, if you special summon Yubel while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card to your opponent's field, once again giving you something to ram into with Yubel, and apparently giving us 3,000 life points as a bonus. Next up, we have another of Yubel's most important cards in her deck, Sacrifice Demon Lotus. This card is really cool. I am loving the artwork on it, obviously a reference to the original Sacrifice Lotus, but also if you check out her hand, she has that classic Yubel arm that is attached to all of Yubel's servants, showing her relationship to Yubel, which is really friggin' cool. This card is absolutely fantastic. You can tribute this card to special summon one Yubel monster from your deck. Again, another very easy way to cheat out Yubel, which is absolutely brilliant and just what she needs. During your opponent's turn, when a monster effect is activated, while you control a Yubel monster, quick effect, you contribute this card. That effect becomes destroy one Yubel monster on the field. This is essentially a monster negate for anything, and then just allows you to go into another form of Yubel, which is fantastic, and you can stop any effect with this, any monster effect, which is friggin' brilliant and definitely gives this deck a little more of a competitive edge. Finally, during your end phase, as with Sacrifice Lotus, if you control Yubel and this card is in the graveyard, you can take this card and either add it to your hand or special summon it. This, of course, allows us to tribute it to keep Yubel on the field. Next, we have a new fusion monster, Yubel das Ewig, Liebe, Wachter. That was terribly, I'm so sorry to every German in the audience if I have any at all. This is a new super fusion board wipe, which is friggin' epic. You summon it with one Yubel monster plus one or more effect monsters on the field. Obviously, you use super polymerization to fuse Yubel with everything your opponent controls. This card's effect, when it's fusion summoned, first of all inflicts 500 damage to your opponent for each fusion material used for its summon, which is pretty freaking great. That's up to, 12 times 5? That's up to 6,000 points of damage. Just straight up. Also, this card does everything that the Ultimate Nightmare does and more. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Friggin' amazing. Also, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. When this card battles an opponent's monster at the end of the damage step, inflict damage to them equal to that monster's attack, and if you do, banish it. Friggin' epic. I love this card so much. I absolutely love this card. I'm wondering if this is their replacement for Super Fusion God. I'm hoping it's not, but it kind of feels like it. It is at least a reference to Super Fusion God, being that you fuse, as many monsters as you want and use Super Fusion stealing your opponent's monsters as well, which is fantastic. This card is perfect for Yubel and lets us just wipe out our opponent's entire field. Super Fusion was good enough as is. This is probably the new best Super Fusion target At least if you're running Yubel, which I am, it's great. Oh. Next up, my favorite. This is like literally the only card that I wanted to see from this. Nightmare Pain, a continuous spell. Look at that artwork. It shows, first of all, Nightmare Pain is the name of Yubel's effect in the anime. It shows Yubel using her effect, attacking with the thorns, which is really cool. I'm so glad that they did that. And its effect is everything that I wanted and more. During your main phase, you can destroy a dark monster in your hand or face-up field, and if you do, add one Yubel or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand except Nightmare Pain. This allows us to very easily cheat out Yubel's second form if we just destroy Yubel in our hand, or if we destroy the new spirit of Yubel in our hand, we can summon the original Yubel, and then it also just gives us one of her new support cards, which is friggin' amazing. Give us your Sacrifice Lotus, any of the new cards, like, it's great, it's fantastic. Also, while you control a Yubel monster, all monsters your opponent controls must attack them if able. Great, that's fantastic, that's exactly what we need. Like, force our opponent to attack Yubel, right? That's all you need. But wait, there's more! Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving your Yubel monsters instead. This means that Yubel finally has her anime effect. This is exactly why I wanted Nightmare Pain to be printed, and it is perfect. It means we can finally play Yubel the way she was meant to be played, not by destroying her and summoning her last form, but by keeping her on the field as long as possible and torturing our opponents. Next up, we have Mature Chronicle, a little bit more mature for this card. Obviously a retrain of Magic Chronicle. I'm loving the artwork, a very clear reference to Magic Chronicle, but also notice that the images on it, the first one seems to be Fusion, and the second one is obviously Super Fusion, which is really, really cool. I love that a lot, and just as the artwork suggests, this card supports Super Fusion. This card, each time a Yubel monster or monster that mentions Yubel is special summoned, place one Chronicle counter on this card. You can remove up to 5 Chronicle counters from this card you control to activate one of these effects. 1. Special summon Yubel from your graveyard. 2. Add one of your banished cards to your hand. 3. Banish one card from your deck. 4. Destroy one card on the field. And 5. Add one Super Polymerization from your deck to your hand. 5 is quite a costly amount. Probably won't be going into that too much, but it's cool that it has it, but also allows us to banish any card from our deck and then add it to our hand with its other effect, which is great, and I am smelling some banish support. Do I combine this with Macrocosmos? I think I combine this with Macrocosmos. This card allows us to banish Necroface straight up from our deck, and also just banish any of our Yubel cards, which we can bring back with the new support as well. It's fantastic, I absolutely love it. Finally, one of my favorite of the new cards, Eternal Favorite. Obviously, Yubel is my eternal favorite, the love of my life. I am loving this artwork. This is a clear reference to when Judai fused himself with Yubel using Super Polymerization. And fittingly enough, this card acts as a Super Polymerization. This card has 2 effects. It's a continuous trap, and you can use each effect once per turn. Either special summon one of your Yubel monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Again, more banished support, which is fantastic. I can run it with Macrocosmos. It's a beautiful time. And neither player can activate cards or effects when it's special summoned, which is like, that's great. It's up yours, Trap Tricks. Finally, if you control a Yubel, you can discard one card, send this face-up card from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as material, including a Yubel monster. So again, like I said before, this card acts as a trap version of Super Polymerization, which is great. We don't need Super Fusion, but we have it, and now we have the ultimate target for Super Fusion. Just nuke the field, steal everything, I want it all. This deck is amazing. These cards are amazing. I am so satisfied with these new Yubel support. I absolutely adore it, everything about it, and I'm really hoping that more cards come soon. Please, give us Regenerating Rose Retrain, give us Demon Balsam Seed Retrain, give us everything. And I'm calling it now with this new Super Fusion support. What's the bet we're getting Super Fusion God? Thank you all so very much for watching. My name has been Sid Gara, and until next time, expect more Yubel content.